We live in a nation with 800,000 abortions a year in a state that leads the pack. Abortion is not just another social issue. Abortion is a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to be human under God. Because we're all made in the image of God, every woman and every preborn boy and girl are equally valuable and deserving of blessing and protection. Not a sane woman alive actually wants to have an abortion. This problem cannot be solved by government. It cannot be solved by medicine. It cannot be solved by economics. Abortion is a God-sized problem only the church can solve. The Lord commands his people in Isaiah chapter 1 to seek justice, reprove the ruthless, defend the orphan, and plead for the widow. Elsewhere it says, pure and undefiled religion in the sight of God our Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their distress. And I'm here to tell you, there is no one more widowed than a woman so abandoned by society that she has to fear having her own child. There is no one more orphaned than a child whose mother feels like she has to choose between her life and her baby's. When a woman considers abortion, she says, I'm stuck, I'm trapped, I've got no other choice. And that's why CompassCare's mission is to erase the need for abortion. I want to live in a world where abortion is not the first thing a woman thinks about when she faces an unplanned pregnancy, but the last. And there can be a different world. But there is a mountain of abortion in the U.S., and New York is at the peak. Our vision is to forge a more pro-life future. One community, one woman, one baby at a time. Right here in the abortion capital of the United States. And we have a plan to move this mountain. The church only has the facilities and staff to serve 1% of women getting abortions through pregnancy centers in New York right now, except in Rochester and now in Buffalo, where the church through CompassCare has the ability to serve 25% of all the women seriously considering abortion in any given week. To reduce abortion in New York, we need to expand the pro-life service capacity and repeat CompassCare's effectiveness in all New York abortion hubs and 3 more by 2026. Why is CompassCare uniquely suited to guide the church into a more pro-life future? Well, it's because of the pro-life passion of the church that CompassCare has been on the leading edge of this life-saving work. It is because of the church that in 2002, CompassCare became the first medicalized pregnancy center in New York, adding nurses and ultrasound technology and other things. It's because of the church that in 2005, CompassCare pioneered the first linear service model, creating a continuous improvement system to stay on the cutting edge of service. It's because of the church in 2007 that CompassCare was able to launch a national pregnancy center training that revolutionized the pregnancy center movement. It's because of the church that in 2012, CompassCare was able to open source our systems so that now over 600 pregnancy centers have adopted or adapted some form of CompassCare's service process, helping save untold thousands more babies. And it's because of the church that in 2018, CompassCare expanded the vision, the New York State Abortion Reduction Plan, cutting abortion in the nation's abortion capital with high-capacity operational presence in 5 abortion hubs by 2026. And it's working. Rochester saw a 50% reduction in abortion, and Buffalo is on track to see the same. But in 2019, Cuomo horrified the nation by signing the Reproductive Health Act, making abortion a fundamental human right. But the church did not shrink back. No. You did not throw up your hands and say, New York is a lost cause. The Church of Western New York united to expand CompassCare's capacity to serve 25% of all women considering abortion in Buffalo, the largest abortion hub outside of New York City, by the way. And what happened in 2020? The church through CompassCare not only kept serving women in Buffalo and Rochester with a record-breaking life-saving year, as Daniel just pointed out, we also pursued opening services in New York City. So to tell us the story of how God is working through his people to cut abortions in Buffalo is CompassCare's regional executive in Buffalo, Dr. Dean Condon. But before that, watch this patient story demonstrating how CompassCare services are able to reduce abortion with ethical Christian medical care, one woman at a time.
So when I found out I was pregnant, I was very shocked. I was like, oh my God, because it was definitely unexpected. Then I had people telling me like, oh God, no, don't do that. Have an abortion. So I was very highly influenced to go to Planned Parenthood. When I got there, I spoke to a nurse. She told me that, well, you came here anyway, so maybe you should get the abortion. It's obvious you had the thought, so maybe you follow through. It was influencing me because I kept saying, if it doesn't have a heartbeat or if it doesn't have this, just trying to justify a lot of things that shouldn't have been justified. So I swallowed a pill, and then she gave me all the paperwork, and she was telling me like the steps, and the idea of it was crazy. And it was 4 pills. She told me to put 2 in one cheek and 2 in this cheek and let it sit there for 30 minutes. And all I could think of is you tasting death. As soon as I left the office, I started shaking, and I just was like, Jay, bro, what did you do? As soon as I got home, I seen my kids, and my kids said, Mommy, how's the baby? And I just was like, oh my God. And it's like, how do you tell them, like, Mommy's not having a baby no more? I was crying, I was shaking, and I'm looking through the papers, like, how do I stop this? Like, what do I do? Like, what can you do to get medicine or anything out of your system? And I instantly thought induced vomiting. So I ran outside, and I stuck my fingers down my throat because I was sobbing. It was a cry for prayer for God. I'm so sorry, please. So I got on the internet and I looked up, how can you stop an abortion from only taking the first pill? And I just started seeing like abortion pill reversal. I'm like, oh my God, is this real? Because I always find stuff on the internet. So I'm like, please God, let this be real. A nurse from CompassCare, and I believe it was Kathy, called me, and she was like, hi Jabra, I'm calling in regards because I heard about your situation, and we're going to get this started. It's going to seem like a lot, but it's going to be so fast, and it's because you only have a certain amount of time left. They get me started immediately on progesterone and told me everything, like, it's going to be okay. We got this. We're going to try to fix this for you and make sure, you're good and the baby's good. Don't worry. And when I came here, my heart was so warm, other than Planned Parenthood, where I was very cold and I was lost, and I just felt like I could have been, it was just terrible. And Planned Parenthood, the next day I called and I said, I'm so sorry, I regretted it. And they told me there was nothing they can do. If you have this baby, you're taking 100% risk at doing this, and it's going to likely fail. To know that CompassCare could tell me something different and can reverse a medication like that, that's amazing. And for them to just be like, you know what, we're going to open up the office. I'm running down there now. I have a few nurses coming down there. We're getting your medicine ready. We're doing this. It's just amazing to know that somebody will go as hard as if it was their children to make sure your child is going to be alive and stay safe. It was an amazing experience, and I thank God for CompassCare.